Hello, 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 everybody. I am just waiting to see what kind of delay we have here. I know that there is a delay, but I want to welcome each and every one of you on today. Y'all, I'm waiting to hear something from y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, my mind is gone today, okay? I've been through a lot today. Can you guys? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have been going through so much today. This weekend was a humdinger. I will tell you guys all about that. But first, let me tell you who I am. If you don't know who I am your friend, your Quilty Peep, your bestie. No, I'm just teasing. I'm your girl, Sassy. I am Sassy Steph of formerly Memoirs of a Longarm Quilter, now just Stephanie Harris, but it'll always be MLAQ. Okay, okay. So, how are you guys today? I hope you all are doing well. I hope you have had a fabulous weekend. I'm hoping you're doing well up until this point. And of course, I pray that you have a beautiful rest of the week. Honey, y'all, I have been sick as a dog these last several, actually, since last Thursday. Yeah, I am just really coming off bed rest. I'm really still in bed rest, but technically, according to the doctor, I'm supposed to have been like a week in bed, but I'm feeling much, much better. So I promised to take it easy. I have my water here, so I'm going to make sure I stay hydrated, and all that kind of good stuff. But let's see who's all in the chat. I do see Miss Andrea is in the house. I see Janine is in the house. Hey, Janine. Judy is in the house and Day is in the house. And of course, I do see people that are online joining us, but yet not in the chat. But feel free to join us in the chat. Today we'll be working on this beautiful quilt that's behind me, and it is the one of the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilts. It was the Olympia, and I decided to do it in the when you see the little swatches, I don't see like the grand quilt. So I just saw the purples. I thought the purples, the oranges, the pops of black, all of that would just marry together nicely. But in the end, it looked more like a Halloween quilt than anything else. So yeah, not wasn't like not a fan of it, but just not like 100% loving it. So I do have some a child that I'm going to be donating this quilt to, and it will be a child with sickle cell who will be in the hospital in the month of October. So once it's as you can see, it's almost done quilting. We will be quilting it tonight. Um, Once it's done, I got time to make a label and of course bind it. I do see more people coming into the chat. Thank you, Janine. She said she's been praying for me. Hey, Nita. I hope your sister is watching with you. Tell her I said, mwah. Hey, Rico. My brother is in the chat with us. I'm waiting on my lion. Rico, bye. Bye. He don't wait for his lion. He wants my Lincoln, okay? He won't be quilted for a minute because I have quilts. I have one quilt that I will be sharing with you guys next week. That it is a customer's quilt and it is going to be doing quite a bit of customization on it. So that would technically be my first custom quilt for hire. And it's going to be mostly straight line. So I'm comfortable doing that. Let me give Benson his treat. Here you go, Benson. Goodbye, Benson. Goodbye. So I wanted to share with you before I did that. Last week we worked on some quilts. Not quilts. some dresses for Project Dress a Girl. I just wanted to show you the completed dresses. This is the one that we worked on. That's this one, just in case someone's here and missed it. That's this one. This one just reminds me of the 70s. I love it so much. That's that one. This one, I don't know. When I picked out the fabric, I was like, this is so stinking cute. And now that I'm looking at it, it's a little bit busy. But for a little girl, they're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. I can see them like when they get a little bit older. It was brought up in a conversation. If you feel like the dresses get too little for the girls, they can always wear it as a top and add some cute little leggings or some shorts or all that kind of good stuff to go along with it. Thank you, Day. She said he did an awesome job. I just read Rico's comment. Awesome job on these dresses. I am absolutely loving them. Now, don't ask me to do none of these no time soon, okay? Because they kind of intimidated me, especially the binding. But now that I know how to do it, not that I feel like I already told her I know she has an August deadline for these. So now anything after August, I won't feel as much pressure to get them done as I do now because August is right around the corner, okay? Thank you guys. Rico talking about it'd be your own people. Whatever, Rico. Whatever. So I also wanted to share with you quickly a little haul. A quilt shop that's maybe 15 minutes away from my home had closed at the end of last year. And today she opened up the shop for this week. Actually, everything is at 50% off. She still had a lot of stuff. So I think what she was hoping was someone would buy the shop. And I don't know if anybody is interested at this moment. Okay. So, and I think it has a lot to do with location as well. But I'm not in that business. So let me keep going with the haul. Okay. Hello, Gladys. I've got some of my favorite batting, Quilter's Dream. This is the 100% cotton. Now, I love my 80/20. Didn't have it. I got there a little late. I had to go renew my permit. And honey, when I got there, the wolves were wolfing, okay? Everybody had batting in their hand. So I was able to get 2 of the twin and 1 of the queen in the 100% cotton. So I can use this like on my quilts and stuff like that, but I do prefer the 80/20, especially on customer quilts. But you know. I have been talking about lately, especially when making the dresses, that it's that hot ruler. The one that I had is, I don't even know who that one's by. I found that one on Amazon. No, go away because this camera is right here. Go away. It's always been. So this is another hot ruler, and I like this one. This one is by Clover. The markings are a lot bigger, so I am going to enjoy working with this one. I got 4 spools of so fine thread. I got a baby blue color, a pea green color. Let me let you guys see these. A pea green color. This was marked $20. However, it was $10. These were all $10 each. That's it. Baby blue. This one is a neutral, soft white color. And I couldn't remember if I had red or not, but I do know that I have something with red in it. But this is more like a pinky red. And this color right here. So I got those. But here is the ruler up front. It was $20, so it was $10. And I couldn't believe she was really charging $20 for this thing. So I wanted to try. I always wanted to try this. And this is the iron off. So it was normally $5.99. Well, I'm just gonna say $6, so $3. If you have any experience using this, please let me know. Yeah, Janine, shopping girl. I went shopping. Now I'm really waiting for the 70% or 75% off before I go for fabric, but I know I'm gonna need some fabric. If you know me, and I know I done a video on it like maybe last year, that my love of scissors. Yeah, I got 2 pair of scissors. Yeah, didn't need them. Nope. But these were so cute. They were foldable ones. And I was like, oh, you know what? I can actually attach these to my pool lanyard that I have right here. This is from Innova, so I thought I'll use that. And then I have Husqvarna Viking scissors. I thought these will be really good, especially for applique, because they have a curved tip. I don't know if you can see that. These were $15, so like $7.50. Okay, that's my receipt. Now this, I don't know why I got it, but I love the one that I already have. And that is the Clover seam ripper. This was normally $6, so no, that was $3. And I've heard people talk about this, especially Lorena from Lorena Quilting. She talks about these little, instead of using a traditional seam ripper, use the, I'm about to open it. It looks like a eyebrow shaper razor. And of course, if I open it this way, if I tear the package, it don't open right. Go figure. Hold on 1 second. You know what? We just gonna rip it open. We're just gonna rip it open. This is the razor right here. So if I have to do any seam ripping tonight on this quilt, I'm gonna try using this. So I'm just gonna set it up there for right now. And the last thing I purchased was not from them. I did go to my Juki dealer today, and it was to get, if you watched Donna last night as she was making her fat quarter shop, is it Star of Wonder block for the mystery quilt. She was talking about a T-gauge that she uses on her Juki. Well, my dealer doesn't like that one. He thinks it's a flimsy one, but I was like, can you get me one? That's the thing. Can you get me one? And he was like, I don't want to sell you the one that we have because it's used, but if you really want it, but you know, I got this one. This one is so much better. I'm like, okay, but if I don't like it, you're getting it back. So this one is the adjustable one that I can attach it and I don't have to remove it from the, like unscrew it to move it if I need to do something else. The arm swings out of the way. So I can't wait to play with it. let me put it back in here because I don't want to lose it because it has some tiny screws that I don't want to miss out on. Okay, hey Brenda, here's to not needing that ripper. Amen. Amen. So let's get this stuff put up. I wanted to also talk to you as I'm getting this set up for the next pass. I decided to go ahead and get started on this quilt because I am kind of like have a deadline almost with the customer quilt that I have to custom quilt, and I need to use as much time as I possibly can on it because it's due. The wedding is the 17th, but give me a second. I want to show you the quilt pattern because she sent the pattern. Ouch! Watch out, buddy. She sent the pattern so you guys can be helping me think of what I can do with this center medallion. This is the quilt pattern right here. It's called Blooming Star. This is all applique up in here. So I need a suggestion of what I can do with that applique. I'm thinking echoing and do like a stay stitch maybe in the center of those leaves, or echo in the center of the leaves, echoing it. But I don't know. What would you guys do? Talk to me. Okay, let's go ahead and get this baby started. I'm going to try. Now I have another camera angle and I have the camera mounted. I've got the old camera back up and working. I just don't know how good it's working. So we're testing out this old camera. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you don't like it. You don't like it. Just let me know in the chat. Tell me, girl, you're making me dizzy or something like that. Okay. So let's go to this other view and we're going to go ahead and get started. And while I'm talking, because I have to be careful of this cord that I'll be stepping on, problems that as a long arm quilter, things that you might run into as a long arm quilter, they're a little bit different than if you were doing, I don't want to say it's different. I'm going to just tell you one of the challenges that as a long arm quilter that I have, and it is tension. All the time, it is always tension. Every time I have to change a bobbin, I am running. I have fabric scraps that I'm using along the edge, and I am definitely testing the tension of that new bobbin. The I had a bobbin and it fell on the floor and it rolled away somewhere, so I have to find it up under my desk here. That one bobbin was bad. The thread on it was good, but the bobbin, I had problems the whole entire pass. I had to rip out like 3 times, like a big chunk of the stitching, like in the middle, and I had to restart it. Thank goodness it was all on the outside. I said, bump that. I got me a different bobbin, put in there, and it ran beautifully. Hey, Irish Sail lady. So let's see if, well, I already know for a fact that this bobbin is very, very close to running out, and I can share with you what I do when the bobbin runs out. So let's go ahead and get this baby started. I already did the trim. Oh, you can't see the computer. I already did the trim. This is computerized quilting because I really supposed to be on bed rest, but we're standing, but I will be sitting down as soon as it starts going. I already did the trimming, making sure that it's going to go. I like to go off the edge of the quilting just a little bit So when it comes to the binding, I'm not having a gap in the stitching between the binding. I like to see it go off under the binding, if you will. So I already trimmed on both sides of the quilt. As you can see, I am closer to the end. I based the entire quilt to the backing and the batting so I can roll it. And when I started doing it this way, that means yes, I based the entire quilt before I start stitching on it. That way I found that I'm able to control the fullness just in between that pass, and it's not waiting to come all the way down to the end of the quilt to try to figure out how I'm gonna steam out all those that fullness. So let me step over my cord here. I can go ahead. This is a touch screen monitor, but I also have my cordless mouse right here. We're gonna hit go. Let me know if it's too loud. Well, this is a long arm, so you might hear it. I thought I had my what is it called, noise cancellation on, so it might get kind of funny sounding, but just let me know. Hey Joy T, are you using pre-wound bobbins? No, I am not. I am winding my own bobbins. Now, the reason being is because I don't have any purple. And I'm going to show you when I get this going what bobbins, pre-wound bobbins I like to use. Because, yeah, I love pre-wound bobbins. Okay, it's asking me to, is it okay? It's asking me, is it okay to move to the location of where it's about to start? And I'm going to tell it yes. It's moving on its own. It's at the location. Now it's telling me, okay, you need to pick up your bobbin thread. And now, is it necessary to tie down since I am off on the side? It's not necessary to tie down, but I still tie down. I just like to do it because it makes me remember. I don't like having to remember. I can do some things on certain things and not other things. So I am going to go ahead and let this baby go. As you can see, it's off the side. And I have to do some freaking batting. I based it with a blue thread so I can see. It's a little fullness right here, and I'm just manipulating that with my hand. Now I could do one or two things to help also with a little bit of fullness. You can use water bottles that help, and let it roll naturally on its own. Let the machine move it. I've done that several times. But if it's a lot of fullness, I am definitely using a steamer. Okay, while that is going, I almost can hear when it's out of thread. So if I hear it while I'm over here getting this, I will let you know. I'll have to stop the machine. I love my so fine thread, but these these are called super bobs, and they're by Superior as well. And I have the M style for my machine. Excuse me, for my machine. And what I do is I use these with my Omni, well, any superior thread. So my Omni thread and my So Fine thread, but they also work great if I'm stitching with Orifil. So I love, love, love these. And they come like this is a 12 pack. Let's stop it. Um, a 12 pack. So I can definitely, you know, get maybe 2 quilts using these, depending on how big they are. So, and I will be using these for, oh, that one don't belong in there. Oh, this is a multi-pack. I was like, something is not right with this one. This is a multi-pack. Some of them come multi-packs, and I get the multi-pack when I want to audition threads. And then if it's a good color, I like it, I go and I buy the 12 pack. So I'm gonna just set these right here. Let's fix this baby. As you can see, it went quite a ways, and that's fine because the only thing I have to do is move it. But now my bobbin thread is still attached. It's still fine, but I need to bring it up so I can cut it. No, not my bobbin thread. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a thread break. Where's my scissors? So no, not your bobbin. Not your bobbin. But I do want to leave a tail because I'm going to have to bring it down just a little bit. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see pretty good. So what I want to do is I'm gonna move it just a little bit. I need to find my, I guess I can open this one up right quick. I need my seam ripper. And what I do is when I can do one or two things. I can stitch over the end, which I will do anyway, but I need to bring up this bobbin thread, and I don't use the sharp side. I use the back end side. So what can happen is I can bury the thread, and I'll show you how I do that. But what I'm doing now is, it's if there is a seam like this seam right here close by, I like to back up to that because sometimes, just sometimes, your girl don't get everything perfect. I mean, this is a machine, and even though it's the computer is doing it, it is still guided by man. So I'd like to bring it back as to a seam if one is nearby, and then I can start and stop right there. Come on, there you go. So that's enough of that. And what I'm going to do is move. Now it's gonna come off the side, and that's because I have to change out the bobbin. My bobbin is right here, and my Innova use red bobbins. Now seeing it up close, I can see why you picked it. Yeah, those are pretty fabrics, but definitely looks Halloween from a distance. Absolutely. And that's exactly why I'm putting the design that I'm putting on it is called Fall Rewards, and it's pumpkins and leaves. And I was like, what kid was not gonna like that? So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using on it. Making sure my bobbin is good. I have to take this brush, and this is every bobbin change that I do. I brush out to make sure that there's no, lint on the inside that can actually throw off your stitches. Lint is a beast, y'all. Make sure that you put your bobbin in correctly. I do leave a tail, but I need to put a couple of drops of oil in there. Yeah, let me grab my oil. I use these oil pens. I've gotten these from my Longarm dealer, and I laugh at it. Well, this particular one, I was trying, I don't know what strength that I was using. I must was doing a Hulk grip or something, and I actually cracked the I cracked the plastic. I'm like, dang on, Stephanie, what in the world? So I have to be very like with this one because it's even though it's almost out, I want to make sure I'm using every drop of oil I can out this baby. I was like, what kind of kung fu grip did I have on that? And what I do is, oh, here go my seam ripper right here. I'll just take up that scrap piece of fabric. This is not going to be like on the quilt itself. So if there's any excess oil, if I went too far with it, snap it back in. And now we're going to test it because I just took this off my bobbin winder. I need to verify that the stitching is good on it. Now, it was good when I used it a few, right before this pass. It was really good, but I need to make sure it's still good because I use a TOA gauge. Okay, now this clamp is going to be a turkey because it's in my way. Let me just unclamp it for a second. And I'm just going to pick up my bobbin thread and pull it up. I did cut it a little bit long. And I can still use this computer in a regular mode, even though it's programmed, it's in the middle of doing regular computerized stitches. And I just, test it out. I do see some of my top stitches are loose. So what I'll do is I'll stop it and I'll tighten it up just a little bit so I can go about it. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Now, I don't know if you can see it. This bothered me more than anything because I love looking at beautiful flat stitches. But when you're putting a dark on top of a light or a light on top of a dark, the thread, it throws off not the stitch formation, it just throws off how you see it. And you can be sitting there playing with these stitches all you want to and throwing it off as it's working, as it's going, you're throwing it off because it looks funny on these different colors. But when it's on a regular color, I'm like, oh, okay, it's stitching out beautifully. Like right now if you look at the black stitches right here, those stitches look all amazing. But when you get to the light color ones, like on this green right here, it'd be like, dang, them stitches look kind of like they going off to the side a little bit. It's not the thread. It's not you. It's just how the thread is looking on there. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing a thing called move. My thread stopped all the way over here, but I need to let the computer know that no, actually I need you to start way back over here. So what I have to do is let the computer know this is where I want it to start. So I am going to enlarge my pattern, and yep, it's right where I want it to be. And I need to hit resume. And then it's going to ask me, do I want to continue a move? If I hit continue, it's going to go way back over where I stopped it. I don't want it to do that. I need to hit move and let the computer think back, if you will, think back to where I want it to go. So it's gonna um, allow that to happen. And now it's gonna move. If when I hit continue at this point in time, it's going to move my sew head to, if I don't have it spot on. So it just moved very just a snit. So right now, what I need to do is grab my thread, pick up my bobbin. I want to make sure I got the right one. Pick up my bobbin. Oh yes, it's on a perfect. It's where it needs to be. Now, necessarily at this moment, I am gonna tie. Yes, I'm still gonna tie off. I wasn't gonna tie off, but I am gonna tie off. But now I can go ahead and continue. And it's gonna start stitching. And then look, those tails that I have there now, I need to go ahead and hide those. Okay, now seeing it up close. Okay, yep, we already did it. I wonder if the pre-wound bobbin was defective. I have never used pre-wound bobbins. Judy, actually, that was not a pre-wound bobbin that was acting up. That was a me bobbin, the ones that I wound acting up. And if I'm not mistaken, I knew I had two bobbins. I don't care what thread was on it, it always messed up. Always messed up. And I knew I got rid of one of them, but evidently I didn't get rid of the other one. I do have some more bobbins on order. Hopefully they'll be here this week. I ordered them today because I was fit to be tied with them, their bobbin. And so right now what I'm looking at, I do see some loose stitches. I'm going to tighten up my top bobbin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into these areas. I only see two areas and pull. I might have to do like a little bit of hand surgery on those two spots. Actually, I see a third spot right there. So what I'm doing now is just watching to be certain that that last tweak that I did actually worked. I'm going to adjust a little bit, bring it back a little bit, because I'm seeing that now it might be a little too tight. This pattern has, I don't know if it's the pattern, but the when you come in, when this one is coming in and out of curves, I don't know, it just acts weird. It pulls, and I don't like that. And I don't know if it's because I need to slow it. I can slow the computer down if I needed to, but it's already on the low end. It's like a 36%. This thing can go like a 1500 over was it 1500? And I'm like, oh no, we don't want it going back that fast. But it is, you know, pretty slow, and it's still giving me issues in certain spots. But that's the thing with long arm quilting, and it doesn't even have to be long arm quilting. It could be quilting period. You can be quilting on a domestic, but you're controlling it on a domestic. But right now I'm just really mainly talking about when you're using a computer, or even when you're using yeah, just mainly a computer, is how hard it is to get that tension just right, because you're not doing the driving of it. So that is, we're just letting this baby do its due diligence. I should have controlled this little pucker down here. I did not. And people think just because you have a computer, you can just easily get up and walk away. You really don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that. I'm seeing it was a little tight right there a little bit, which is weird because if I'm looking at the same part on the other end, it's fine. I don't know what to say, how to fix that when you're stitching along, everything is going great, and then all of a sudden it hits a spot where things start looking a little suspect. Your choice is to let it ride or pull the stitches out. Now I'm about done with pulling all these stitches out, unless it's like super bad. Like I said, right here, I'm just gonna do a little hand surgery. I'm gonna fix that by hand. But everything else, I'm just gonna let it ride because I don't know. I've done quilts where the fabric was the problem. Now this is a cotton cut. I was not expecting any kind of problem with a cotton cut fabric. When you're quilting and when you're especially you, even if you're on a domestic, you need to get think these kind of needles. These are um, self threading needles. It has a little crown at the top that the thread slides through that little crown. I don't know if let me see if you can see it or not. It's a little. There you go. So when it's finished this path, I've learned. I've learned to go ahead and bury the seam or bury your threads if you have to while it's in that row. While it's in that row. Right now, I'm just gently pressing this because this is a little full right here. I want to hold it down just a little bit, giving it just a little pressure to flatten it out. Now you see these little threads that need to be pulled. I can pull those right now. Sometimes like this thread right here. Oh nope, I can pull that one too. This one needs to be cut. So these are little pumpkins that and a swirl leaf that's on here. Okay, and it's getting closer to the end of this path, and I'll show you how to do it. Hey, Amy. She said she's going to be listening while she feed her four-legged children and cook some burgers. Awesome, awesome. But yeah, so this quilt I do. Well, my husband is working tonight, so I plan on doing finishing this quilt up tonight, getting it off, and having the other quilt loaded. Hopefully tomorrow night. I might just take a break tomorrow night and then start on it Thursday. And of course, as always, you want to make sure that if you're when you're quilting, you of course you want to keep your hands away from the needle. That's why you look at the monitor. I look at the monitor before I place my hand down on the quilt. So yeah, ask me how I know about that one. It did get me once. It wasn't bad, and it was my quilt, but it did get me. Everyone's just saying hello to one another. Let me move this over here. Now, I just put a fresh bobbin in down here. So that means I possibly can finish this quilt with this bobbin. Possibly. If I have to wind another bobbin, it will be like not even half of the bobbin will get used. So I won't even make it a full bobbin, because what do you do with that thread? I'm like, right now I'm ordering these little baggies, like a 2x3 baggie, to go ahead and put the like I have these bobbins. Like I just finished that one quilt. This is the bobbin that was left over. I want to put it in a little baggie, write the thread color number on it, so I can go ahead and put my spool away. Okay, it's telling me that sewing is complete. Yay us. So before I do anything, I have to cut the thread. So let's go ahead and cut this thread. Or yeah, because you don't want to scissors. You don't want to, one, waste your bobbin thread, and two, you don't want to be putting a hole in your quilt. So now I can go ahead and move this sewing head all the way back down here where I need to bury this thread. So I'm going to oh, thank you, Day and Janine. Yes, please show your love by giving a thumbs up. That, of course, that helps the algorithm out some, and also let me know you guys are enjoying the content. So this needle I am using is, again, it's called a self threading needle, and I don't put it all the way through. I'm just putting it right on top, right under, like right on the in a batting. I'm sorry, in the batting, putting it right through there and bringing it right on top. Now, of course, I'm going to put my finger down here up under the quilt to make sure I didn't go through. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to attach. I can't attach these two yet because that's too far. So I'm pulling these two pieces of thread through there, through the eye, as you will call it, and bringing it through. And then I'm going to do the same with these two pieces. I didn't want, because they were a little bit of ways from that, from where I inserted that needle at. So I didn't want to have it too far away. And see, what I did was, when I was trying to thread it, I accidentally pushed that end of the needle into the inside of the quilt. So I wanted to make sure I had that on the outside. Okay. Now see, yeah, you can see a little bit where I started and restarted. But once I cut this thread, you're going to be looking for a minute. Scissors that don't match this quilt would be nice. And see, voila. And then that again, that is a start and restop, but it's almost, not gonna say almost invisible, but it's a good, nice, clean um stop and start. I'm working really, really hard on those guys, really, really hard. So, okay, now I am done with that pass. Now I need to adjust the quilt. As always, adjust the quilt. And that's when you just go to your sidebars and I need to pull the quilt back. I don't want to take it all the way back because I still need some of this I need some of the original, not the original, the previous stitches to show so I can realign the quilt. I need to realign my sew head to the quilt so it won't be quilting all over the place. So what I need to do to realign it on my machine is called reposition. You need to find your lowest point of your previous stitch line, which is this point right here. I was using this leaf all the way through. So what I'm doing is finding that mark, putting my needle at that tip of it, and what I'm doing is finding it on my computer screen. I'm still trying to find a way where I can let you guys see my computer screen. That's another thing that I'm working on. But my biggest thing was to make sure that you guys can at least see the stitching again. Tell me, how is it so far? Is it still too wiggly for you guys? How is the camera doing? Okay, now that I can see that my pattern is in a good position, what I need to do is trim this row, and it's the exact same thing as before. Now, one of the things we did not do, and you guys got to remind me, on that first week, that first Tuesday of the month, we have to celebrate those who are born in the new month. We have July babies out here. If you are a July baby, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Thank you. Awesome. They're saying the camera looks good to them so far. So we can go ahead and keep rocking with it. And actually, my husband and I, we were brainstorming a way where I can keep this camera here and it's not in my way when, even if I was to do free motion quilting. So as you can see, I have my needle off to the side, and that's because I want to trim there. I have a feature called trim, so I'm going to select that feature. Did I put my needle back? Okay, I want to make sure I put my needle back. You know, sometimes I have a tendency of putting needles down and losing them. Yep, I said it. I sure do. Okay, I'm going to accept that. So that side is done. And I'm going to go ahead and trim on this other side because this is where I need to trim on this side. Why do you keep getting stuck on this thread? Okay, click. Let me see how much we're cutting off. We're going to accept that. Now, as you can see, I am at the edge of this quilt, and my sew head can go much further than the quilt itself. So I am going to see I am going to trim the new edge of this quilt. Actually, oh my goodness, it lined up perfectly right on this by itself. I'm not gonna have to do that. Oh, and I also see that I can stitch. Okay, sorry. I can stitch this next row. I can link these two. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay, no, cancel. I want to right here. Thank you very much. Accept. So what I'm doing right now is just trimming off this little, because this is a half of a row that I'm trimming. All right, I'm going to stop it right there. And then, come on. When I'm far away from the quilt, invert, or from the monitor, my mouse, it'll, sometimes it won't let me do what I need it to do because I have to get back close to it. So where's my mouse? I need to click on this. I need to link these two rows. Accept. Awesome. Now I can go ahead and start. So guys, do you have any questions or anything like that? Brenda says her birthday is Saturday the 20th. Happy birthday, Brenda. I hope you have an amazing birthday, hon. Yes, I am loving this. I can see every stitch. It is mesmerizing for me to watch. Very enjoyable. Thank you, Andrea. I do appreciate that. Awesome. Yes, happy early birthday. Guys, yeah, and July is going cruising right on through. So we want to make sure that we always acknowledge those everyone's birthday. I know my friend Jill, she's not with us on tonight. She's sometimes in the chat. Her birthday is also in the month of July. So happy birthday, Jill. She is recovering from surgery, so if you wouldn't mind, please keep her in your prayers. Speaking of prayers, my brother Rick, if you can keep him in prayers, not Rico, but Rick, in your prayers. Also keep Rico in prayer because he might be on the road. He usually jump in the chats when he's away from home on the road. So please continue to pray for them. Of course, we're all praying for Donna and little Miss Harper. Keep them in your prayer. Y'all, please pray for my little chickens. My girls are returning savage. They're mean. They're mean. I just don't know what to do. I'm at the point of trying to actually trying to do some separating, but I can't separate anybody at this point because I don't got nowhere to put them. They're just being mean to one another. And I know someone told me that they go through a molt, but I thought the molt that they can go through is at the end of summer. It's hot as heck here in North Carolina, and I have a lot of girls missing chest feathers. Hey, Laura Lynn. So I'm at my wits end with my chickens, y'all. Let me just talk about these chickens because let's let this thing get to running first. Y'all, just pray for your girl with these chickens, okay? And the sad part is I want more. I want more. And these little dinosaurs are being mean to one another. I mean, y'all saw how Mocha was looking, right? And they done start pecking her butt again. They done scratched the peepers off. So they make me want to send all of them to freezer camp and start over. But I won't be so mean, okay? I won't be so mean. But they are so mean. Now, when I come with snacks, everybody's the best thing since sliced bread. Everyone's getting along. When I'm coming in there with a watermelon, everybody is great. Well, if you look at them, you would think that I went through World War IV. And I'm like, why? They look unkept. And I'm sorry, them some spoiled chickens out there. They get the best of food. They got the cutest little house. And I don't know if I do know. I'm thinking it is because they're confined. I done got them toys. I done got them different levels to get away from one another. They have more than the space requirement that they need. They just mean. They just mean. Hi, Sandy. Yes. Oh my goodness. Innova computerized. Yes. What is it? What is running it? I have one. You have an Innova? Awesome. Think about computerizing. Yes, I love it. I do. I did have the navigator and I moved up to autopilot this year. I think it was this year. Or was it late last year? One of these. I think, I don't give me the line. No, actually, it was about 6, 7 months ago. I went to autopilot. So I am loving it, honey. I love it. I've had my Innova since 2017. So yeah, chickens are spoiled. And I mean, Lordland, if you saw them, if anybody saw them, they probably want to call animal, what is it, ASPC on me because they look a hot mess. And I think it's because, in my personal opinion, see, my husband thinks I'm trying to get him to let us free range. I already know that that's not going to happen. And I don't blame him because I don't want to be walking, I don't want chicken poop on my vehicles, and I don't want to be stepping in there every time I walk outside either. So they're in a different area. Now, if we do move, which we have been discussing, moving and getting more land, I will not personally, but I will have them an area where they can free range with safety. They will have a big portion to just free range in. And of course, they will still have a coop to sleep in at night, but they will have a lot more land to play with if we did move. But they have me scratching my head, y'all. Ain't that right, Benny Ben? No, let me see your face. You want to say hi? Say hi to the peeps. Ugh. Say hi, Cancer. And let's talk about this little booger bear right here. I cannot leave the house now without him. He won't let me. He has never been fond of car rides. But since we went to Florida and we dropped him off, no. Since we dropped him off, every time we leave the house, he is running to get in the van. He is passing all our other vehicles. He's running to get in the van. He is being quiet. He's never quiet on a car ride. Never. So to see him want to go for a ride he's blowing my mind. He's blowing my mind. And I'm thinking he's wanting to get, now I did see, I wasn't paying attention. I'm seeing a big section that I'm not liking. Woo, we need to stop this because we got to pick a lot of stitches out. Stephanie, you should have known better. Though the break was down there, I'm gonna let you see this. Now I could always start it over and back to where it is right now, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing, and I'm about to show you what I'm seeing so you can understand, as I was talking about earlier, the frustrations that a long armor, especially a computerized long armor, may have. And you probably didn't see it because it was going by like really, really quick. But if you look at this stitching right here, you can see that the bobbin is being pulled up like it's too tight. It's like railroading the top. I can feel it. I don't like those stitches. I don't like it at all. At all. So from the end where I stopped, this whole entire pass, I'm about to sit down and unpick because of this. Now, honestly, this is a donation quilt. Is it gonna, is a child gonna know that those stitches look hideous? Probably not, but I do. So I don't like that. So I have to be honest with myself and honest with the quilt, and definitely honest with you guys, letting you know that these are the frustrations, serious frustrations that you might go through when quilting. And there are times when you can get on a quilt. My last one, I didn't have these problems. I didn't have these problems at all. I just did a deep clean of this machine prior to even starting this quilt. So it's not that. Now it could be maybe I didn't do my wheels. So I'm going to pay attention to the wheels after this quilt is done. But as of like right now, now I know for a fact that I'm going to have to wind in a bobbin. Dang it. Or I can keep it moving and keep on going and be like, oh, better luck next time. But that's not who I am. So that row is going to have to get picked. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But anywho, I know that though I am in live chat, I can see the last comment that says, it says like, hey Benson. That's the last thing that I'm seeing. So I do believe that there is still a problem with the latency. That means I'm having a problem getting the chat as soon as you guys type it. And that is because, Stephanie, girl, you're using the wrong mouse. That is because I am choosing to keep on closed caption. When I turn, if I go to the quicker chat, when it's quicker, I lose closed caption, and several of my viewers need closed caption. So if you guys are talking, and I have you on like 2 devices so far, and I'm not seeing nothing, you know, in the chat that you guys are saying. Like right now, the last message that I'm seeing is, it says, "Hi Laura Lynn from Janine." Now, she could have just typed that, but I don't think so. I think she typed that a little bit ago. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's where I am. That's where I am, y'all. And of course, you know, if it was going to happen, it was going to happen on a live, right? Right. And it's okay because this quilt was giving me a fit. As you can see, I still have quite a bit of this purple left, and that is because I'm going to use it as the binding for this said donation quilt. So that's all I have, guys. That's all I have for you guys on tonight. Andrea said, me, I need them and I appreciate you for using them for me. Not a problem, hon, not a problem. And you're not the only one. I have been contacted before in times when my computer was acting up. I'm hoping she will come back And she didn't scold me. She just let me know, hey, I need those closed captions, and you don't use them, so I won't be able to watch you, that kind of thing. But and I did explain to her, what happened when I'm having technical difficulties. I try to get on as quick as possible, and I forget to do a lot of the steps because I'm trying to hurry up and get on. I think I found the bug that was kept crashing my system, so I hadn't had any problems. We'll see, but we still have to see how the rest of everything goes. So we shall see. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because I have a lot of unpicking to do. Oh, but before I go, let's see how this thing works. Just for a little section. Just for a little section. So this seam ripper. Now I don't know now because I don't even like using it for to do my eyebrows. Yes, like eyebrows, like a bra or brow. Yeah, I think it's eyebrow. You got some eyebrows. You got some bras for your eyeballs. Let's see. We're just gonna unpick a section because I need a tail. Silly me. I didn't leave one. And I kept my light off because I was hoping you guys can see a little bit better. Now let's see. Let me see. Let me put my hand this way. Maybe you can see a little bit better. Well, and this was the last one. But you can get these from the dollar store. Shut your mouth and call me happy. Hold on. Let's see. So I'm just taking the tail and just, oh, Lorena, Lorena, Lorena. Girl, y'all, change your life, okay? Get you one of these. Now, I like doing the running thing also, but see, the thing is, you can accidentally cut your thread, but the chances of you slicing a hole in your fabric might be slim to none because of the angle that you're holding the blade because you're laying it across and not on. But you have to keep doing the, oh, look at here, look at here. I'm just only do it just for a little bit longer to get through this piece right here. Well, guys, I really like this little thing, but what I don't like about it is the fact that it cuts it. I can't get a nice tail like I can do with the seam ripper, but it does seem to cut a little bit better and a little bit faster because what I usually do with the seam ripper is just pick a couple of threads, and by me going backwards, it's easy, to pull those threads out. But oh, I like the little shaver. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let me cap this sucker back up so I won't cut myself. So yes, Donnell gets them off of Amazon. These are so cool. I really like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, guys, that is it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I will see you in somebody's chat, or I keep saying it. I might do a live, but last week I was really, really sick. But I want to finish this Piazza quilt. I want to have time to do that. I want to have time to load that other quilt up and get started on it. I still have the temperature quilt to catch up on, and I know me and Donna is going to spend some time working on that. So yeah, I got a lot planned to do. I got a lot of stuff to do. So until then, guys, I love each and every one of you. If you have prayers, you know exactly what to do. Put them in the chat or email me. You guys have my email address. It's all in the description box below. Send it to me, and I will definitely add you to my list. And until the next time, guys, until Sassy Tuesday. I see you guys again next week. Love you. Bye. You know, it'd be nice if a girl can use the correct tool.